You don't mind me drinking early in the morning. Went out last night and bit of a rough time, but all good, all good. Well, welcome to the live feed. You know, I've done one before. I haven't done many, but I know it's more talking to yourself than anything. But hey, if I'm doing more of these, I got to get used to talking to myself. Like I said in another video, nobody talks to me anyways. Dogs ignore me, the wife. So what am I going to do? Anyways, yeah, with the channel, what I'm doing is we talk about some points that I make in some of the videos or what have you, different talking points or what have you. But we just start with about me. Somebody had commented that if you maybe cut out this part, maybe the swearing, or this might offend somebody, that might offend somebody. With this channel, it's just me. What you're getting is me. This is me every day. I'm not going to compromise my thoughts. Otherwise, you're a candidate for mediocrity. And I don't want to be mediocre. I just want to, we're just doing Lenny here. So when I talk about beer or I curse or what have you, it's just, man, these are things I like to do. So you can move on. You can take the advice any way you want it. It's free advice. I'm not making some killing on this or something. Rather, it's my free time. So I just like having fun with it, and that's why I drink the beer and have the tacos and whatnot. Like I say, I went to a show last night. My birthday is tomorrow. And I'm Dwight Yoakam. I'm not real big on country music, but like old school country, what my dad used to listen to. Like old Hank Williams, Merle Haggard, what have you. And just good stuff last night, man. That was all right. Man, Dwight Yoakam, he ain't missed a lick. So made me feel good. So it's just fun stuff. Hey, my man, Mini Camp over there, Detroit loves you. I love Detroit, man. I miss you guys out there. I miss you. Hope to get out there here and there. Still have my license. I'm still a licensed contractor in Detroit, so you never know. But anyway, so yeah, I saw the show. A few cocktails, got into it, so I put up a poll. Who likes tacos and beer on Sundays? Well, shit, that's me, man. So, yeah, that's what I'm having. So, little Budweiser. People have commented that, I don't want that swill. Just, hey, drink whatever you want to drink. Just join me. A little tequila blanco. It's Sunday. It's my birthday weekend. What do you want from me, okay? Tacos are coming a little bit. But anyhow, so yeah, that's what the channel's all about. Just miscellaneous stuff that I do. I'm not on the job anymore, so it's really tough for me to come up with new material. The channel's really getting popular. It's crazy, man, and thank everybody for that. So I want to capitalize on this. I figured I'd be doing this once a week and let you guys see my messy ass office. We just moved into a new place, so that's why it is the way it is. This housing market. The owner wanted their house back. We just moved to Vegas. We're looking to buy, but needed to rent first. They wanted their house back, and so they said, well, you guys got to move. So we had to find a house, and the prices out here are crazy. So it's been a nightmare. So I apologize for not having all the videos up faster. Okay, now moving on. So yeah, that's just stuff that we're doing in a nutshell, answering some questions or what have you. I want to do this once a week, and I don't want to get into anything. I've had people talk about political things. No politics, no religion here. I won't do it. I won't engage somebody. I'll just delete their comments. You want to do current events? Did you hear about the Catch Me Outside girl? Kicked outside. How about that? You know what that little bitch is making? I shouldn't say bitch. I don't know her. Whatever. I can say what I want. It's my channel. $500 million. $500 million. Can you dig this? I got to think of something. Maybe this taco and beer thing will propel me to that next level. So what do you got here, Jimmy Dollar? You come to Oklahoma and help. Hey, I'll go wherever. If there's a plane ticket, I've had that offer too. To fly me out to Northern California. This couple had an electrician come out. I'm not dogging other electricians, but they had a electrical. I don't know if he's a contractor or not, but is out the sticks. I think it was in Chico, California, and this guy, what he wanted for a service change was like $15,000. For me, I mean, you got to be able to justify. I know what the material cost for the service change is, a few $100s. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe I feel guilty. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm a bad businessman. Maybe that's why I never got rich. modeling got in the way. It takes a lot of time modeling. So yeah, so they offered to fly me out because how much they wanted to charge them. I just keep looking around. That's why I have liveelectrician.com. Here I am, this shameless plug. Well, for people who have these issues, it's like, man, I've got these different contractors. What price is right? They're telling me this. They're telling me that. Well, well, hit me up, liveelectrician.com. I can, give you advice on some things like that. If I think you're getting screwed or not, I'm going to shoot you straight. I'm not against unless against an electrician making money. But sometimes it's just crazy. 15 grand for a service change. I mean, that's more like wiring the house. More, but you just never know. What are you saying here? You can make tacos and buy some beer. Well, shit. Let's go ahead. I got my phone. I'm going to book this plane ticket right now. Okay. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you like the YouTube channel. I tried, and you get advice from people. Why don't you do it this way? Why don't you do it that way? Hey, this and that. Oh, if I were to do it, you think I'm making any money off of this? It's my time. It's free. I'm just trying to help people. It's fun for me, and I like it, and I like helping people, and that's why I have the nonprofit and training veterans and stuff like that. And I hope that thing would take off, but I don't know. It's funny. It just seems like I don't know. Maybe people are desensitized to veteran ads and this and that. If you do anything for the veterans, they just don't seem to care. So it's really been hard. Excuse me, to get that going, but no big deal. So, anyways, yeah, that's what we do in a nutshell here, and. Cursing, swearing, drinking, get used to it. But anyways, okay, let's see. Now, I'm going to start with, my company in Michigan, Starving Electrician, do a lot of historical restoration. My man says if he goes out there, I'll fly him in and give him a hand. So make some more talk. Hey, look at this. See, we're getting steam. This is a movement here, baby. I love it. Do this. But like some of the videos I make are from these experiences. Oh yeah, it's a party, Jenny. It's from these experiences, like working on a historical housing project, not project. It used to be in Michigan. It's right across from Ford Field. You could throw, if you had a good arm, you could throw across the 75 and hit Ford Field. And they have these big, it's called brush parks. It's called brush parks a few years ago. Big mansions. Well, they were mansions. They were run down. You'd probably pick them up for $2-3 grand. When they sold, they went for $2.3 million a piece. It just gets really, I hate using the term gentrified, but you know what I mean? More people with money move in. And then what used to be a ghetto is now, people moving in, you can't afford anything downtown. So I had this cat working for me. And you smoke pot, that's your business. But this cat would get high and work. And then, I'm trying to train him and everything and get him going. But he'd just be stoned all the time. Whatever, it's your own fucking business. I don't care. So, as time goes on, he's roughing this big ass house. It's 3 stories. It's historical district. I got all the eyes on me. And so it's done. And he borrows $200 off of me. Well, it wasn't done yet. It was just a rough. He borrows $200 on me. And then quits, don't come back, whatever, keep that. It's severance pay. But on the finish, I come to find out that a lot of the house, if you had 10 plugs in a house, most of them didn't work. I'm like, what the hell happened? So I'm testing them, and I've got my continuity tester one side to the other. It goes to one plug, but it doesn't go to the other. I go to the other side, one plug, the other. He probably went one plug to one plug, got high, one plug to another, and didn't connect each one of them. Man, so the video I have about drilling out holes in the drywall is not something you want to do. But I had to do it because there's no basement or an attic above it. So, this historical house was beautiful. These hardwood floors, been there over 200 years. This crown molding codes, and man, I had to make that thing look like freaking Swiss cheese just to get the wires from one to another, because this cat got high. So when I did the work and made all the holes and shit, I'm like, man, I got to tell people about this. But when I drill the holes in the drywall, it's if I absolutely have to. It's not that I want to make all these fucking holes, but man, the comments, I get about these holes. You should do it this way. That's not plaster. If it were plaster, I mean, I'm not trying to dog the cats that are commenting, but I didn't say anything about plaster. I didn't ask for your advice. I'm telling you what I did, made some holes. What do you say, Mike? What up, homie? You all right? All right. But I'm making the holes because it's something I had to do. I mean, avoid making holes at all costs. But the advice that I get from people, I'm just like, dude, get your own channel. I'm not gonna be nice if I don't like a comment. This is my channel. I'm not getting paid for this shit. So if something, go fuck yourself for all I care. I mean, I'm not mad or anything, but I don't care. So I'm trying to, that's the only way you can do something is by making holes in drywall instead of hitting out a hole with a hammer, which I've done many times. Then that's that. It's just what has happened to me. So I'm just trying to share that. You feel me with that? So it's a historical house. I'm making holes. I mean, might as well make them nice. But like the guy didn't like it very much. But what are you gonna do? He's still gonna pay me. It's done, pass code. So when I do things, I'm a licensed electrical contractor. I've been doing it for 30 years. I know what the codes are. I get paid for this, So that's just the way that it is. And like stuff like fishing wires in the wall. Well, that's one way that I do it. It's one trick. There's a lot of tricks, and people, why don't you put a fish tape down and this and that? You ever try grabbing a fish tape in a hole that's 2 inches by 4 inches, try to pull that rigid thing out? It works, but not all the time. I mean, it's a pain in the ass. So this is just a little trick I get from going floor to floor also. So trying to get into a crawl space or in between walls, in between floors, that little trick with hooking the chain works great. Why don't you use a magnet? And that's everybody's solution to this stupid thing. Why don't you use a magnet? Why don't you just watch the video? So a magnet, if you ever use a magnet on something, they pull off. And if I've got a bunch of chain balled up somewhere and I'm trying to pull it through a hole, a magnet isn't going to do anything. It'll just pull off. So this is just one trick that I use. Maybe it works. I don't know. Maybe it's the most magical invention ever is a magnet pulling out a chain. I don't know. It's just somebody's way of doing it. Been doing it for years, and it's just what we do. It works. So I wouldn't put it there if it doesn't. So I know that I get a lot more response when I put up videos about little tricks, and I think I'll lean more towards that. But again, I'm not on the job site anymore, so there's a lot of stuff I can't show because I just don't have access to the job sites and stuff like that. And if I'm not in Michigan anymore, so I'd be working for somebody. I'm working for somebody now. I'm working at the VA out here in North Vegas. It's cool. Work for a contractor. I haven't worked for anybody in about 15 years, and man, it sucks. The hours suck. Management sucks. It's crazy how contractors. It's a $1 billion company, and out of France or something. Rather, they got 25,000 employees, but I tried to get a check that they owed me, and that shit took 3 weeks. So I brought them to their knees with a check. Us source. When you got to work for somebody, my advice is just show up on time. You will go miles. I'm a half an hour early every time, so they can trust me. They know that I'm going to be there. All you have to do is just show up. That's half the battle. Some guy could have all the skills in the world, but that cat don't show up. They can't count on you. Then they can't plan their day. Just show up on time. I remember when I'd get laid off. I've been in the local for a long time, since '93, the union. And I always say, I'm going to get even with those fuckers for laying me off. Them, I was late 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 2 hours. They didn't know if I was coming in or not, so I can't blame them. So once I turned that around, turned my whole career around. And also, like my bills, I'd have the money in the account, but I wouldn't write the checks. So my lights are shut off and I got money in the account. So once I started doing auto pay, my credit shot up. Started showing up to work. My credit shot up. I was able to buy a house, and wow, look at me now, making free videos for people who are talking shit about me. But anyways, so that's that with fishing wires and just showing up on a job site. Another thing that people are talking about, see, I got a lot of different comments. Not everybody sees these different comments. Like I have a video when I'm wiring the panel, I twist the grounds together. I was just doing that just to show people that you can just twist them together and put them under a lug. Well, it's against code or what have you. Grounds are non-current carrying conductors. So them twisted together doesn't make a bit of difference as long as they fit under the lug. The lug is rated for a certain size of wire. There's nowhere in the code book that says that you can't twist them together. You want to put grounds, one for each lug, go for it. You're going to run out of lugs. So if it doesn't, but I tell you what, people gripe about that one all the time, but show me in the code book. All you have to do is show me in the code book, and then I'm good, man. I've learned something. I'm not a master electrician. I'm a contractor. Been a journeyman for many years, 25 years. Wait, 35 years? Yeah. One of the first things that goes in memory. Now, what are we saying here? You have to fly me back to Detroit for tacos, install a 50 amp plug in my cabin up north. Okay, I think we'll just get shit faced. And my brother, I don't think we won't get anything done. And then then I'll fly back, with the return trip that you're buying. So, and you know what? Maybe I'll let people know when I'm back because I do get a lot of responses. Just the name of the company, Starving Electrician. This isn't just a name, that was a company because I was starving. I was laid off in the union, and between jobs was, 2 and 3 years. Then you get on a job, and you're working, and all of a sudden, at the end of the job, you see the kids with the same name as the foreman, and you know what's happening next. Yo ass is going. So yeah, that's how it was, and I was starving, lost house, the divorce and everything else. You haven't got any money. I hate to tell you, it's going to be hard to keep a spouse too. Yeah. Plus, you don't want to know where I found her, but anyhow, it was destined for disaster. So, yeah, that's what happened. That's how Starving Electrician was born. And with that name, let me back up. When I was a kid, I started when I was 18, and I would put ads in the paper because I didn't have cell phones and shit like that back then. I sat behind Jesus in the 3rd grade. That's going back a little ways. So I put ads in the paper, Starving Electrician. I was just a kid. That was 80, 86 or so. There's a recession going on then. So then later on, I'm starving over here. I'm like, you know what? I'll start the company like that. And I tell you what, I still have my company is up and running, and I get about, I'm going to say 5 to 10 calls a week still, and I've been gone for 2 years. It's the reputation, baby. That's all it is. Show up on time. How much do you need to make in a day? You want to get rich. I want to get rich, but I'd rather have 10 customers than one. And then reviews mean everything to me. So, maybe I'm not the best businessman or whatever, but I just like helping people and being fair. Then I don't know, comes around, goes around, I guess, So, it's that. And people give me advice on the YouTube channel as well. Again, how much am I making? It's not a big deal, but man, I do it like this, I do it like that. I get it, but this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm showing you. This is what I'm trying to help other people. Come on by. That's cool. I don't mind the advice so much, but people like, some cats say, oh, you're a hack. I'd never hire you to do my drywall. Who wants to do drywall but drywaller? Who wants to do drywall? I appreciate it and all, but I appreciate your time and consideration and talking to me, but no, I'm good with doing the drywall, and I'm not a drywaller. I don't even pretend to play one on TV, Okay, what do we got? Squirrels for All. I like the name already. Is a new aluminum SCR a decent product as compared to copper? There aren't many videos discussing this, but I've heard the new aluminum alloys are more dependable. It's not about dependability or anything like that. It's not moving parts. Current is going through these conductors. How do those conductors take the current? Well, it's about heat dissipation, voltage drops, stuff like that. Aluminum, you have to size it one size bigger than copper because copper is a better current carrying conductor. It carries it better. It's thicker. It's denser. It's heavier. So it's easier path for it to flow. So aluminum isn't, and it expands and retracts. Not a big deal because if you look at the lugs and all the panels are all aluminum. In code, in the code book, they don't want you to use two dissimilar metals under a lug, like in a meter can. And because they will oxidize. And when they oxidize, it can be bigger than two conductors. And oxidation gets in between the conductors. It pushes them apart. With aluminum, it expands and retracts. And then that oxidation, there we go, gets in between them, and then they're not touching anymore. And which, when they expand and retract, open and close, it starts arcing, and that's what can conceivably, excuse me, I'm sorry, make a fire. So that's what you do with aluminum. It's not that one's better. You just have to size one up. Now, talking about the prices these days of the material, I go with aluminum all day long, but that's what I did anyways. It's easier to work with. It just is. Some cities, like when I was in Michigan, Dearborn, small city outside of Detroit, requires all copper. I don't know why. One's not a fire hazard or anything else. But now they moved on to it for aluminum, because in the code book, it doesn't say what you have to use. Now, cities, municipalities, they have a lot of them. I couldn't speak on all of them, have their own residential code that they go by. Now, this could mean it doesn't. Let me back up. In the code book, at the beginning of the code book, it says the authority having jurisdiction. That is your inspector. That supersedes the code. They can interpret it any way they want, be it fair or unfair. They might stipulate like they're trying to make it extra safe, because the code, remember, is meant to protect people and property. So the code for electrical is basically based on fire. So they want to protect you, your ass, and whatever you're working on. So these things aren't fire hazards. Now, another video I have is about no-lox. It's an antioxidant. It's so they don't oxidize. Dearborn, you ain't lying, man. But it's an antioxidant, and it's. Somebody mentioned something about it not being in the code book, but I use it. I could swear it's in the code book, but I just off the top of my head, I'm not going to go to the code book every time somebody makes a comment. But I've been shot down by inspectors. I mean, probably twice. I learned after 2 times, not just one, I guess, that you have to have this in there. It's for oxidizing. People may think it takes the place of 2 dissimilar metals, and you make it so it doesn't oxidize. You're not supposed to put 2 dissimilar metals under a lug. Now, that might be something with voltage, I don't know. But you're not supposed to do that anyways under a lug, like in a meter can. But that antioxidant is needed with aluminum because it expands and retracts because it gets hotter. Again, I'm not I wish I was more book smart. I do. More hands-on. I mean, I can look at a project, and I got to look at it first, and I talk to myself, walking back and forth, just leave me alone, and I can lay out the pipe work and everything else. That's what I'm good at. Explaining stuff book-wise, not so much. And that's why you get the starving electrician dude who drinks booze and eats tacos at the end to compensate for my lack of professionalism, caring, for a lot of stuff. I tell you what, so it's my birthday. I want you guys to raise a glass and celebrate with me. It's tomorrow, so. But I want to thank you guys. I know there's not a ton of us on here, but man, thank you, little group, for being here and making your comments and showing the love, man. All right. Now, there's another one. Excuse me, I gotta wash that down. Yeah. There's another video I have. It's a pulling wire trick. Now, I know that this channel is built more for the homeowner. I was thinking about more pipe bending, stuff like that. I can show out. Now, there's nobody better than me at bending pipe. So don't give me any advice because it ain't taken. I know what I'm doing there. well, other places too, but I know what I'm doing there. But this pulling wire trick, because I worked by myself, I hate hiring people, man. Just a bunch of dumbasses. Not that they're dumb. They're just it's just to get people to work, which is the hardest thing. It's such a pain in the ass. I'd overcommit, and then somebody, hey, I'm sick today. What am I supposed to do? So I've got 2 jobs scheduled, and then you're off, and now it's a pain in the ass. They don't be a contractor. Oh man, that's where the money is. Yeah, but if you got the stomach for it, like I had houses and 2 of them, and you can keep that. I didn't want that either. But anyways, so I run pipe, and I pull it myself. If you set it up right and you do the head right, like in my video, I know, no jokes there. So you make up the head correctly, whatever. I can't win here. Hey, Squirrel, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate the love. But anyway, so I'm in a 1/2 inch conduit, stranded wire, and if you push stranded wire, you'd be amazed at how far that can go, and it goes around 90s and everything. I just learned the technique because I always had to work by myself. I push it as far as I could, and most of the time I didn't. I mean, I'm talking. I don't want to seem like a bullshitter. I mean, I'm a bullshitter. I'm this side of a liar, but man, close to 100 feet you can push that shit, and then you're right there, and you push up that 90 and across, and then down, and you're almost there. Shit bends and boom, breaks your fucking thumbnail going into the pipe. And so after cursing and crying and whining, what did I do to deserve this life? The head's right at the bottom. So, Cat showed me a trick years ago, and I'm like, this is stupid, but it worked. Sending that other wire up there with a little hook on it and spin it around with that drill. I mean, it's jiggling around there. It's going to catch something and push a little. I mean, it took some work. Push up and pull down and see that head and grab with those fucking needle nose, and woo! I saved manpower and aggravation. BG, what's happening? Appreciate my videos. You've been a follower forever. Hey, man. Well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all you guys you follow. It's amazing. The last video I did with the patching those holes. Well, drilling through, patching the holes. I can't believe it. It just started going nuts. And like 2,000 followers in 2 weeks. That's crazy. So we're around 17,000 followers. I wish everybody can come on board and talk to me because, again, I'm not talking to myself anymore. I got people here viewing, but it's nice to hear from the people. If it helped you, if you got questions, if you just want to bullshit about something, man, I'm cool. So I'm not saying I'm a cool person. I'm saying I'm cool with it. I'm a cool person. What are you gonna do? Good looking. Bradley Cooper. I mean, I know you guys sort of popped on like, oh man, what new movie is Bradley Cooper doing? And he's talking to us. It's not just anywho. But yeah, that pulling wire trick, and people, of course, electricians are the worst. I'm one of them. But I joined an electricians group on Facebook. And people posted pictures like, oh, look at this panel I did, and it's beautiful work. There's always 10, 20 guys. Oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? I mean, electricians are the worst, man. And on my channel, they're the worst too, and tell me how they would do it. And bullet for you. It's amazing. I'm just trying to help the homeowner, the beginner. And this is one trick. If there's 10 ways to do it, great. Like, hey, why don't you do a video doing this? Here's an idea. Have you ever thought of this? Cool, man. I'm down with it, But it's funny because I went on today and to check out I do it every morning. There's probably about, 30, 40, 50 comments a morning. So every morning I get on there and I look at them, and man, it's amazing. Some people, oh man, you're the best and everything else. And other ones just call me names and stuff like that. You hack this and that. Why should you even be doing this shit? Wow, it's crazy. The differences in people. And that's why there's no religion, no politics. Everybody's different, so I'm not even gonna get into there. Like I say, we'll just talk about that catch me outside girl like that. That's as political as I'm getting. You don't even need to know. None of your business. So, that's what we do. But like one cat, but I love this video. He had me laughing. There I am, a little hungover from last night. And he makes a comment on my video, smart ass, but I loved it. He says, you show your little stick rule and how you use it, the old man rule and this and that. He said, but then you pull out that your bit and you don't know how long it is. He said, you have a ruler right next to you. Why didn't you measure the bit? I'm like, man, why you gotta do me like that, man? You're right. You're right. It's all fun and good, laughing my ass off. My hair's all sticking up. Oh, I did get a haircut. But it was sticking up this morning, the same old hairspray. My mustache going crazy. From last night, hairspray. Did I say hairspray? I didn't mean that. Styling gel, what have you. From my man. If you're ever in Vegas, Bluebird Barbers, man, I love those guys. My man Vic used to work for me when I had my Knuckleheads Speakeasy. It was cool as ice. Badass place, but just COVID, and I opened up the wrong place at the wrong time. That's the story of my life. Wrong place, wrong time, money. But you keep on going. If I can give any advice there with business, that's you can let it go. You can let it get to you. You can drink and cry in your beer, and that's what old country music's for, and dark bar rooms, and that is cool, man. That's all right. But you keep going. I mean, this shit hit, and yeah, I shed some tears, and I whined a little bit. But what am I going to do? Nobody else is there to pick me up. I'm 50 something years old, and there's nobody here to help. So you got to do it yourself in business, and in life. So I went out and I bought some land. I had some dough, some savings. Bought some land off the 15 freeway on your way from California to Vegas. So I built some billboards. So I could advertise, doing all things Vegas thing. I'm here, got to make the best of it. So, it's the same with business and life, man. Make the best of it. Some shit had happened. I'm bummed, I'm here in Vegas and I left my business in Detroit, thriving. Tell you what, man, I was pulling it down. I was in the worst areas. Nobody would go in there but me. And that's why I get the call. The calls still come in. Now, let's just say dim lights, thick smoke, and loud music. Hey, you know what? Ain't that the best? Tell you, man, I seen that Dwight Yoakam concert last night, and he was talking about what he said to Willie Nelson, what he said to Merle Haggard. Again, I'm not some big country fan, but these old classic cats and what he's talking had me enthralled. And then Two Doors Down, he put on, if you ever listen to the song Dwight Yoakam, Two Doors Down, he's just talking about the bar stool, the barmaid who pours them real strong. It is what it is, especially you down or you up. When I first moved to my house in Plymouth, yes, Plymouth, if you know Michigan, very hoity-toity. I was in the hoity-toity part. But there was a restaurant there, and man, I went in there, and they poured that whiskey. I mean, damn, that was a glass. So I go in there, and I'm like, I had my Jameson neat and my Budweiser, and they're pouring those. Excuse me. After a couple of drinks, I mean, I'm shit-faced. And how you doing? So the wife is texting me, "Where are you? I'm up here." My first time that I was at this place, I forgot the name of it. They tore it. So anyway, so she had to come get me because I schnockered. And it's literally a couple of blocks away from the house, man. I'm like, this is my new spot. 30 days later, they tore that freaking thing down. Man. My new spot, but it probably saved my life, them tearing that fucking thing down, So, good for them, good for me. Any place that I find, so don't let me come to your house because, if I'm having a good time, it's probably going to not catch on fire because of me. Just something shitty's going to happen because I'm there, You guys are old enough to remember, was that Flintstones cartoon, Schleck Rock? Remember everything bad happened to him? He had a black cloud around him. Wowsy, woo. Now I'm showing my age. I was an older kid then, so I wasn't that young. So anyway, those are some of the adventures and misadventures of me and my jobs and stuff like that. I mean, I've got a ton of them. I mean, it was fun in the union. People ask, which way to go, union, non-union. I'm not here to shit on either one of them. They have their advantages and disadvantages. Working non-union, if you've got a good company who takes care of you and they pay all your bennies and everything else, man, that's great. Then if the world was a perfect place, you wouldn't need unions. The other hand, with the union, they make sure all your bennies and everything are straight and everything else. But sometimes you're on the outside looking in, and they are a lot of cronyism, stuff like that. Like here in Las Vegas, I tell you what, I'm going to say it, they're shit. I went to go get in because I'm on the outs, and they said, well, you need to work non-union for 4 years before you can come in this local. I'm like, you want me to be your fucking competition? Really? I mean, how stupid. They have guys on their jobs, who they are to salt, but it's more like them just giving cats a job. Salting means they organize you to bring you into the union. So they have something that they allow where people can come in and they can work on these jobs. But it's more just to get people that they know jobs than anything else, be it non-union or union. And Local 58, they sure wouldn't. It's just it's very strict, and that's what I liked about it. But I was highly political in there, and like the business manager who ran the whole place, we're roommates and best friends. But power gets to people's heads, and I'm not afraid to say it. Turns them into pieces of shit, and that's what happened in Detroit with me and that local. And then favoritism, get jobs for the friends, campaign to get people in office. They completely forget about you. You can keep that local. So because they just did me dirty. So I went on my own. It wasn't because I wanted to. I wanted to be a union man forever. But the way that they did me was just, it wasn't cool. And then my nonprofit organization was to train veterans. It was a pre-apprenticeship program to train veterans. So I would take them on the job. I would get the work, take them on the job, train them, log their hours, give them their supplies, equipment that they needed, their tools, boots, everything else. And I brought one of the local in. He was a buddy of mine. He's still a friend, but I still find it kind of shitty what they did. And they took my program outline, and then they ended up doing it themselves in Detroit. And they said they didn't want to have me on there because they didn't trust me, but they still took my program, So those are the differences. One's highly political. The other one, non-union, then you got these assholes and everything's, how many pictures did you do today? How many of this? And it's a competition. It's a fine line. But for me, I'd rather just work for myself. He said, didn't you used to live in Delray? Oh man, come on. I said Plymouth. Now, if anybody knows Delray, it's the bridge from Canada goes into Detroit, and man, it's a hard ass town. The Detroit wastewater treatment plant is down there. I worked there. It's called the Scum Vaults. So everything that came in, like even after Cinco de Mayo, fucking gross smell. So these big long water troughs with an auger would come through all the wastewater, and then they would drop the water because they wanted all the bigger products. So it was on this giant auger, condoms, it was everything. Money, but you didn't want that money. People have taken money that they found in there and brought it to the bank and can't get rid of that stink. So anyways, so this big shitty auger or whatever, so the auger would take the solids and it would auger it to these scum balls. And it was this big chute, and it would grind it. And then these scum balls were made out of concrete. And I don't know, maybe 20 by 20, and the auger would bring it up and plop, plop, plop. And this big piles of shit. And I'd have to work in there doing the controls in there. So Delray, just thinking about Delray, oh my God. But you had I tell you what, the money was green. It smelled like shit, but the money was green. That's why people wouldn't go to Detroit, but I would. Man, there's a lot of green money in Detroit. Nothing wrong with Detroit. I love Detroit. I like that grit. Man, people just struggling to get by. It is what it is. We had a project where we were working in Detroit, the Fitzgerald project. I think it was slated for like $22 million. There's going to be 200 houses. Did the first 4. Now, we did them in record time. I think we did them in under a month. Stripped them down to nothing and did them back up. 3 of them were robbed right after we finished. Nothing to do about the houses. You built these houses in this place that's just totally burnt out, hookers, drug dealers, and whatnot. And you put 4 beautiful houses in there. What do you think somebody's going to do? It was stupid. They should have just did them block by block. So you do a house here, a house here. People look at the newest house. What are you going to do? You can't blame anybody. Well, I mean, you can. I mean, stealing's not cool, but it is what it is. When you struggle and get by, and then somebody else sitting there in a mansion. I mean, it wasn't a mansion, but to some people it might have been. I tell you, one time I was going to work in the Fitzgerald project, and I see this cat on a mini bike. He had everything painted solid gold. I mean, the whole. We're talking the engine, the frame, the seat, handlebars, wheels, solid gold. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning. This cat is rolling. He's got shades on, and he's got a 40-ouncer just buzzing down the road on this solid gold mini bike. I'm like, man, this is a whole different world down here. So you just say didn't really stop for gas or get something to eat, but man, it was crazy as hell, and I loved it. So I mean, I miss that about Detroit, but not the cold weather. I mean, it's all cold, but it's just cold forever. So, but I wasn't running on about the Delray, but Delray is one of those towns like a Pittsburgh, if you could imagine that if you're not from around there. Have steel mills, just like dirty and stuff like that and gritty. That's what Delray is. Dark, dingy, the roads jacked up. I mean, especially Detroit, burnt out houses. I mean, it's crazy. But tell you what, Delray fed many people with all the work. There's a new project going on where they're building another bridge from Canada to Detroit. And that bridge is going right into Delray, and they're taking the people from Delray, which is very few. You could be on a block, and there's 2-3 people on a block. I mean, it's crazy all the houses that are gone, and putting them in other houses. I wanted in on that project, tried to get in on that project as well. And favoritism down in Detroit, that's another reason why I left too. It is what it is. But these houses that they brought them in, they wouldn't rewire them or anything else. They just paint them. And then you have some shitty painted house in Detroit that they moved you into. So the project, the people still keep getting paid. Even when the project isn't going on, they get paid. So just like that Fitzgerald project I was talking about, $22 million. I mean, I probably saw a couple grand of it, and then they're continuing to get paid. They figured, wow, we can get this done that quick. Why should we be paying you? So they got rid of our crew, which was dynamite, and then it just sat. But they continued to get that money. I mean, excuse me. Last night my voice came a little harsh here. A little harsh. Oh, I got a story about a little harsh too. But yeah, so that's how things are in Detroit. All right, let me tell you a couple quick stories here. We're getting close. When I was a little kid, we didn't have much of anything. I was just we had nothing. I remember having one pair of pants, shit like that. I was a stinky kid in class, whatever. But I remember the teacher was talking about some miniature horses. Well, I'd never been anywhere. I didn't know. I mean, shit, we didn't have any money to do anything. It's just a dad and 6 kids. And so the teacher says, has anybody ever seen one of these horses? And I raised my hand. Oh, shit, I guess so. Oh, Lenny, you have? What they look like? How tall are they? I'm like, it's about a foot, about a foot tall. Really gentle creatures, majestic, some would say. I didn't know anything about a fucking horse. Just be bullshitting. So I was a bullshitter since I was about 7, Oh, anyhow. But well, like I say, we're getting close to time. I want to do this for an hour and kind of introduce myself, run over some things. Don't have a lot of questions. So, but come on back. We're going to go for this next Sunday. It's fun. I like it. But I'm going to leave you guys with a story, okay? A story, maybe drinking some beers. I want you guys to raise a glass now. Come on. So, when I was a kid, I was a teenager. And we're cruising around looking for a party, and we see this pickup truck. We're in a pickup truck. I'm sorry, I'm in the back of the pickup truck with some other kids. Damn, excuse me. And so we see a Peter Pan and a Tinkerbell in the other car. And hey, where's the party at? We're from Pomona, and we're just like little hood rats in there in Encino or something rather like that. I don't remember where it was. And little Tinkerbell says, "Why don't you get out of here, scum?" I'm like, bitch. So we follow them. Then we pull over, and it's this dark street, a really nice area, and there's a street light. And so Peter Pan decides to get out of the car, and me being as tough as I am. And he said, "Man, why don't you get out of here? You're not welcome here." I'm standing in the back of the truck. "Man, fuck you." And I hit him, boom, and I jumped on him. Well, what I didn't realize is when I hit him, we were standing eye to eye, and I was in the back of the truck. So I hit Peter Pan. He's got the green outfit on, the little green Jolly Green Giant shoes, the hat with his feather. So so I jump on it, knock him down, and he rolled me over and started beating the shit out of me in the middle of the street. And I'm yelling, "Oh, I'm crying." And this Peter Pan is whooping the shit out of me. He's so big, my friends don't even want to jump in. That's the kind of shit that happens to me. I got my ass whooped by Peter Pan. It is what it is. And then so when you go on the job sites, when I'm in the local, and I tell your buddies not to say anything. First thing they do is talk. So everybody knows the Peter Pan thing. So, sorry about that. So they tell everybody about what's going on or what had happened to me. And so in all the outhouse walls and everything, like, "Lenny, watch your ass," signed Peter Pan. It was all over that damn job site. I'm like, gee, thanks, man. I really appreciate my friends here, with friends like these, right? But that's what I miss most is the camaraderie on those jobs. Marco, you know what? I appreciate you. Marco says, "I appreciate you, bro." Man, I appreciate you. Just those little things that you appreciate it or whatever, or just it makes my day. I mean, I was a little while back, I'm like, why am I doing this stupid channel? I don't make any money, But I'm like, it's for comments like my man Marco, MC over here, Squirrel. I mean, just saying thanks and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I need to help make myself feel better about myself by people telling me they like me. I don't know. Maybe it's my insecurities. I don't know. A little insecure. I got a little boiler going, but it's amazing how grown men will body shame other grown men too. Dicks, man. Like this job that I'm on now, it's just you hear the comments like, "Well, you got to be a dick all the time." So, but any questions or anything from you guys? Anything specific? Anything about job site? Any of the experiences? Just let me know or think them up for next Sunday. We'll do another next Sunday. Again, I mean, you hope for hundreds and hundreds of people, but like you want to answer hundreds and hundreds of questions. So I hear the bride's home. I think she's got a surprise for me for my birthday. No, not what you're thinking. But like I say, any of the comments? What do you got? Fucking security. I should speak. What good do they serve? Confidence is armor against the world. Love you, man. And you know what? In my comments it says show or hide because you cut. Hey, curse just like me. Just like me, man. Hey, I appreciate you, Robert, man. That's exactly it. Insecure about what? Oh, she could have handed it to me in the bag or outside the bag, but okay, man. So we know what this is. Okay, we're live, and it's my bride. It's my assistant, Melissa. Say hi. Can you believe that I got that? It's the personality, or the looks, or all the money. I don't know. Thank you. So I don't know why the doors keep coming on, but shit, I ain't mad. I got the doors. I got my man Robert on my side. Oh man, we got some carnitas tacos from Chabelo's here in Vegas, man. I tell you what, I'm coming to Michigan. They say Mexican town, Mexican town. There's one place that I liked. It was okay, but I mean, everywhere here, tacos are just bomb, man, fire ass tacos. So I'm gonna enjoy these babies. I'm not gonna make you guys watch, but or watch me eat or listen to it. I mean, it might be kind of gross, but again, I'm confident. Robert, I was only kidding about being unconfident. I went out last night and I could swear all the chicks were looking at me. You know, that confidence. You go out with confidence. You rock and roll. You're a rock star. That's right. You know you're a rock star. I'm gonna have money to be a rock star. I just am. But anyhow, I'm gonna enjoy these tacos, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me babble. We're trying to make it, fun for you. If you guys want to join me next weekend, probably around the same time, but I'm gonna put it on the channel. Thank you so much. And people say I love you. I don't know you guys to love you, but I love that you're here. So thank you very much. I'm gonna have my tacos and enjoy. I'm gonna have my birthday and that job. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going back. I hate it, but I'm taking my contractor's test here in Vegas, so I may just be a contractor again. But I got my other things. So yeah, go to liveelectrician.com if you want to do some live video call or a regular phone call. You can book it through there, and just check out what I'm doing. It's called LennySucks.com. It's my website. Just because the name grabs you, driving from California to Vegas, that's 1 million people a month that sees. I got a big sea container, 40-foot long sea container, painted in black and put it up on legs. It's 15 feet high, and it says Lenny Sucks on it. Well, that's so people can come to the website, and it just kind of grabs you for an everything Las Vegas thing. So, or if you're in Vegas, hey, shoot me a text, man. Let's go get a beer, taco. Fair? Okay, you guys. Thanks so much. Have a good day. We'll chat soon. Cool. Let me see. And while I'm looking at this, how to X out of this fucking thing. I'm not the most brilliant. So, all right, guys. Take care.